Hi, I'm Wardrox, I'm the editor-in-chief of NegativeGamer.com, and this is my little segment where I am right and you shut up and listen. Today, I would like to talk to you about the responsibility that the games media have. Oh god, responsibility! That means effort. Not really. Calm down. Just listen to what I have to say. Most publications need money in order to survive. That's kind of a given. That's just business. Money comes from adverts come from page views, so it only stands to reason that most publications only talk about what's going to get them traffic and what's popular. And I would say, and now keep in mind this is opinion, it's correct opinion, and if you disagree you're wrong, but it's still opinion, that what's popular isn't necessarily what's important. For example, this girl has her tits out, I would say isn't the most important news of gaming. However, an article like that would be the most popular. In reverse, just today, some tax breaks were announced for the UK games industry. Now, I would say that's very important and that all publications should be writing about that because it has, like, pretty significant impact, like, for the future of gaming. But, you know, realistically, most people aren't going to care. And I don't think that it's a bad thing that most people don't care, but I think it's important that websites realise that they need to be outputting content that's important as well as content that's going to get them money. A couple of examples of what I'm talking about. Everyone knows that I am now dressed like an indie gamer. I make games about art and all that other stuff, and normally most people would look at someone like myself and they'd be racist and they'd say, "You're dressed stupid, you are an idiot, and I don't like you because of that. You have no valid opinion, and what you do is rubbish." And I would say that to an extent that's probably true, that most people who do dress like this are pretentious assholes. But they're also doing some quite important work. Like, most of the important things in... Oh god, I've got to watch out how I say this so that I don't sound like an actual legitimately pretentious prick. But, like, most of the great stuff that comes in cinema and music comes out of the sort of the indie, the sort of like that sort of art house kind of scene, like the really arty, pretentious pricks. Like, they have a rundown. You can see it in fashion. You get, like, the main designers are all these pretty much elitist pricks, and they're all like, "I propose that purple shall be the colour of this year," and then everyone's like, "Oh, let's wear purple," and then everyone wears purple and it looks quite nice. I think as I took off the indie stuff, I became less aware of what my argument hangs. Even though more people care about God of War 3 than Herman, which is the game you can see in the background that we did an interview with that you should check out on NegativeGame.com, doesn't necessarily mean it's less important, because the story behind Herman is genuinely very interesting and very unique, as I found out. And I know it won't get that much traffic, but it is important, and so lots of my readers and Negative Gamers readers will now find out about this and quote-unquote be enlightened. And the second point that I'd like to draw people's attention to is the sort of the boring industry stories, like this company went bust, this company has bought this company's done this. Those get almost no traffic because people don't really care, but if you continue to write about them, people will slowly get more interested and they will start to follow the industry side of things. They won't just look, "Oh, look at those tits." They'll be like, "Oh, check out this studio's internal middleware division, they're doing stuff." Okay, that's a bad example, but in fact, I'll just scrap that whole example. Basically, post the news that is important, not necessarily the stuff that is going to get you hits, because you have a responsibility to do that. You are the news press. You are basically what gaming has newspapers. Newspapers, their job is to tell people what's important. Oh, it's all elitism. They're liberal elitists telling people what to do. Yes, that's exactly what they do, because they are trained to do that. The games press have an interesting thing because you have the PR people who are continuously telling the games press what's important, and the games press needs to say, no, hang on a second, calm down, and then do their own thing. And it's up to each publication to decide what's important. Yada, yada, yada. If you write about games and more than just you and your mum reads what you write, you suddenly have a responsibility and you have to understand that. You need to work out what's important and you need to tell people what's important. And that's all I have to really say on that. If you think what you have to say is important, then leave a video reply, a comment, or any kind of feedback. I always read it and it's always super interesting, and I'd love to know what you think, especially if you disagree. So, see you next week.